Matthias is here, your trusted advisor. Today we will talk about the Event Hub or the Real-Time Hub in Microsoft Fabric. Well, problem is you have, 20 real-time streams coming in. You have a bunch of databases, you have event hubs and so on. And someone asks, okay, where is a place where I can see what is actually running? And the answer is the real-time hub. That's why we will look into that, explore it, see demonstrations, and understand the architecture. And of course, we'll cover all the community questions. So we have basically a 4-layer architecture. On top, at least for me on top, in my mind at top, we have the discovery layer. And the discovery contains the real-time hub, which gives us the overview about everything that is running in Fabric regarding real time. Then we have the persistence layer. In the persistence layer, we have everything that keeps the data, mostly the KQL database. With different ways to access these persisted data. The most prominent is the event house. So this is our persistence area. Next, we have the processing layer. Processing means the data flows through it. This is obviously the event stream in Fabric. So basically, it ingests, transforms, and loads our data while it's flowing, right? So from the event stream to the destination, which is the KQL database, the data is flowing, right? And also the event house queries from the KQL database. So you see the KQL database is quite an important cornerstone in that area. And then we have the so-called reaction layer. You can put that, you can put that on this side, reaction. The reaction layer is the data activator, where you can set alerts and so on. All this is visible in the real-time event hub. So you can see the activator layer, which is, by the way, triggered from events in the KQL database. You have the processing layer is also visible in the real-time event hub, but the processing layer is also integrated with the data activator, because there's a direct alert path where you can throw direct alerts from the event stream to the activator. And of course, the KQL database is also visible in the real-time hub, because all the tables are listed there. So this is how I developed it. I draw that in a more nicely way, and we can go through that too. I have it here to recap what we have just discussed. So first of all, we have our discovery layer with the real-time hub. Next, we have our processing layer. So when the data comes in, it goes through the processing layer. And this processing layer is also visible in the event hub. It's very nicely integrated in the event hub. All the data is flowing through the event stream. The event stream is running in the KQL database, which is part of the persistence layer. And we have also a direct alert path to the activator, which is the reaction layer. The reaction layer can also act on conditions on the KQL database, which is also integrated. And we have the data activator also listed in the real-time hub and the event hub. So for me, this helps a lot when I have this in my mind, exploring the different ways to deal around with real-time data in Microsoft Fabric. Let's have a look how this looks in reality. So let's explore the real-time hub. Well, we have on the left side a dedicated icon, and when we click on that, we will get an option to run like a getting started wizard, taking a tour. We will skip that for now. And you see on the top left, we have all the streaming data. With our recent streaming data, we can add new data. We have the business events preview for real-time notifications with UDFs and so on. We have the Fabric events that we can track. We have Azure events, which is only one at the moment, and we have the event schema. So as we have seen, you can add a lot of data in the real-time hub. When you break it down, it's like we have 5 different categories. The first category is we have Microsoft sources. Microsoft sources means event hubs in Azure or IoT hub. There you go. CDC connectors in different ways, basically 6 times, and Azure Data Explorer. So these are all different Azure sources. Next, we have as sources Fabric events. Fabric events means we can listen to workspace items. We have one-leg events. We have job events from a variety of jobs, and we have capacity events. So these are like events inside of Fabric. When this reminds you a little bit to Azure's event handling, it is. Next, we have Azure events, Azure-specific events. Azure events means Azure events. This is number 3. Azure events means blob storage. Next, we have business events. This is preview. Business events. Business, this is number 4. Business events means user data functions. So functions that you run, can run inside of Fabric and notebooks. Nice addition, by the way. And we have external sources. This is number 5. External sources, which is Kafka, of course. Google Cloud Platform. AWS. Kinesis in this way, or MQTT. So these are all like external sources. And everything is like integrated in real-time hub. Add data functionality. Right? This is the core. So all these different sources you can use, and this automatically always adds or auto creates an event stream. So when you connect one of these sources, you automatically get an event stream. Well, you know that auto create stuff has always 2 sides, right? It's easy to start, but for governance, for naming, and so on, things become a little bit more complicated. Always a trade-off. But I think it's a really, really great way to start. So let's have a look. So let's jump in our first demonstration. We are in the Azure portal now, and I've created an Event Hub namespace in a resource group that we are able to use. The Azure portal is something completely different from the Fabric portal, and so the idea is that we push in events there. I have a script that does it in the background. We are now in the Event Hub namespace. We have there the shared access policy, where we can access the different stuff. These are secrets, so don't show them anywhere. Which is okay when we want to get access to the whole namespace. But inside of an Event Hub namespace, there are also the event hubs that we can then add to the Fabric portal on this side, right? So we are again back in the namespace, and we can add it to Fabric. So that's like the linking point here, right? And when we want to link that, we can pick an existing connection. We don't have an existing connection. We have 2 other ones, and we can hit new connection. And you see, we need a variety of parameters here, especially the connection target, which is the target event hub, and the shared access key. And we need to provide that from the portal. So let's jump over to event hubs, which are in an event namespace. You can have several hubs. So this is our hub that we want to take. There's incoming data from a script, and you see we have the settings, and we have also the shared access policies. We can also see the incoming data here if we want. So we can just hit view events, and then it will query the incoming events. You see these are here. This is great for debugging. So you see on the Azure source whether something should come in here, right? And we have a pre-produced fabric listen token. I pre-produced that we can copy and then put that into the event stream. And then you see there's a stream created automatically. This is one of the signature things of the real-time hub, that it creates an event stream automatically with the hub as a source, a new event stream, but no target. So it's on our side to put everything in place here. Besides, we have just the source, right? So it's basically throwing away the data. But we can see that the data is incoming here, which is great. So this is the same that we have just seen in Azure Data Explorer is now also in Fabric, which means to some degree, our data is in the Fabric platform, which is a big step forward. And now we see in the recent streaming data our new event stream source, and we can also preview the data here. So like outside of the stream where we were in, we see the data. It's still loading. That always takes a little bit of time in real time, but after some seconds the data will appear here, and we have also a nice graphics where we can see. So the data is here, and since the data is quite new, the graphic is not really filled yet. We have we can open the event stream again. We can endorse this data set, which means that it's basically ready for production, and you can really use it. So endorsing is highly recommended. When you deal with real-time data, it's about ups and downs, and so let's discuss that. Basically, the upstream is where the data originates. So this can be an Azure Event Hub, or an IoT hub in Azure. This is the origin of your data. This then runs in an event stream. This is like the parent, right, of all your data. So this runs in an event stream, and the event stream then goes into your stream output, which means there's like a default stream. The default stream is raw. This is an important thing here, right? It's comparable to your bronzy layer, if you want to say that. You can do transformations. This is then a derived stream. In the derived stream, you will do transformations. Like tumbling windows, like averages, like filtering the columns, and so on. And the downstream, just take it down. The downstream is like the sink. It's the output, right? It can be a KQL database. It can be a lakehouse. Everything that you can add as a sink. A custom endpoint, which means Kafka. Oh, that's one too much. Kafka endpoint, which is a custom endpoint, which is Kafka, or an Activator rule. And both can run. So the default stream can run in the downstream. The derived stream can run in the downstream, and you can even act on multiple things here like put it into a lakehouse and also create an activator rule. Something like that also works. Let's talk about that on the pre-created Mermaid that I've created out of my drawing. So we have this upstream area. This is the origin. Then out of that, the event stream is created, which results in a default event stream. And the point here, this is raw. You can derive a derived stream that makes the transformations, or you can push the raw data directly to the downstream, which is basically the sink, the target. You can address multiple targets like KQL databases and lakehouses or custom endpoint and activator rules. And you can address targets from the derived stream or from the raw stream. And you can compare that to the Medallion architecture. And this way, the raw would be bronzy, and the derived stream would be silver. And in this case, the downstream would be considered as gold. So let's have a look. We have our data source here. Not yet the one that we want to. This is an old one from old demonstrations. And we have our real-time dashboards here. We don't have real-time dashboards yet. And we can add also content from here. So this is also part of the real-time hub. You see the stream profile on the right side where we see that there's incoming data, and we can set alerts. This button doesn't work from time to time, so I left it in the demonstration so you are aware of that fact. That it can happen that it doesn't work, so then you have to reload the page and it will work then, right? You need to provide a rule name when you want to set an alert. This hands over to Activator in the backend, right? Insert a rule name and define the field, so we can define the checks and the fields and its operation and so on. We can group, we can react on every event when. On every event, of course, gives us a bunch of notifications, so avoid that. And so we can fill in our values. Temperature in Celsius is 0, and we can decide how we want to receive the notification for this alert. Last but not least, regarding our architecture, let's go to the decision tree. So the question is, I have streaming data. Do I know the source name? This sounds trivial, but it isn't, because you need quite a bunch of informations, for example, out of your Azure portal. And if you don't have all these informations, then, well, you need to browse, right? There you can go to Real-Time Hub and say, okay, let's browse the data streams. You will only see the stuff where you have permissions on, but still. When you have all the exact source informations, then you can ask, okay, do I have already an event stream on that? Then you can simply open the existing event stream artifact. If this is a new source, then there's a question, okay, is it just an experiment? Do you just try stuff out, right? Quick test. Then you can add a new event stream in a Scratch workspace. If this is not a test, if this is for real, then you should add your data to the real-time hub. If you are in the browsing mode, right, then you can browse your data, and that's great because you have the journey that you can just look, just have an insight what's coming on there, what's coming in there. You just need an alert, then you can pick your event source and connect it with Data Activator. When you want to process your stuff, you need to create an event stream, and when you want to analyze your stuff, just put it in the KQL database. And I think this is a great takeaway, because you see, hey, I'm in Real-Time Hub. I have 4 different options. Just look, alert me, process, or analyze. And you have 4 different targets. Just look is preview, alert me is data as activator, process is event stream with transformations, and analyze is KQL database. Welcome to our community questions. First question is, hey, do I really have to use real-time hub? Can I just go with event stream? Is real-time hub mandatory, right? So I already use event stream. Everything works fine. I have the same connectors. Is it just an UX redirect? So yes, the connector list is identical, same events hub, same Kafka, same CDC tiles, and so on. Both UIs ends up in creating an event stream artifact. The hub is not a new processing engine. The value isn't in the connectors, the value is in the catalog. When you have one team, one workspace, 4 streams, event stream alone is great. But when you have 8 teams, 40 workspaces, and someone asks, hey, do we already have a stream for this event hub or not? Event stream alone doesn't have the answer. The hub does. It's a tenant-wide. You don't have to set it up, and it is every event stream that the user has the visibility into, right? Decision when you have a small team, just go without Event Hub. When you have larger teams, go with Event Hub. And you have the endorsements feature where you can endorse a stream that are production stable. Next question, what's different between Fabric events and event stream sources? Well, on the Add Data page, I see Fabric events as a category, and inside event stream, I can also add a source. Workspace item events, are they part of the event stream, or is it something separate? When I create one, where is it really stored? Where does it really live? This is like the terminology trap. So Fabric events are a hub category label. It's an UI bucket containing 4 subsources: workspaces, item events, one-like events, job events, and capacity overview events. They are called Fabric because they are emitted by the Fabric platform itself. It's created by your tenant automatically. Event stream sources is the complete connector library, which includes Fabric events as a subset, but everything else like Azure Events Hub, like IoT Hub, like Kafka, and so on. Where do they live? They live always in the event stream. When you click Connect on the workspace item events tile from the hub creates an event stream artifact in the workspace for you that you choose, and the event stream source equals the workspace item events. It's not a separate Fabric event stream. It's just an UI feature to make things simpler. Next question is, why don't my streams show up in the hub? I created an event stream in the workspace I have access to, but when I open the hub, it does not appear in all data streams. My colleagues see this, what I'm missing. So 3 things to check. First one, the tab My Data Stream only shows the data streams that you own, streams that you have created. Streams that someone else has created, but you have read access to, live in all data streams. If you're on the wrong tab, that's it. The workspace filter, the default filter is My Workspace, meaning only the workspace you currently have selected in the left navigation. If your colleague stream is in a different workspace, switch to the filter All Workspaces to see that. And the third one is permissions. The hub respects, of course, parent artifact permissions. To see a stream from event stream you didn't create, you need at least viewer permissions on either the event stream itself or the containing workspace. Question 4. Can I set alerts in the hub without Activator? When I click Set Alert in the hub, it makes me create an Activator event. Activator costs capacity units. Is there a way to leverage via Power Automate or Logic apps without spinning up Activator? Short answer, the alert, set alert button in the hub always creates an Activator rule. That's a supported path, and it's by design because, well, it's data activator that lives in Microsoft Fabric. If you genuinely want to use Power Automate or Logic apps without Activator in the lib, you have 2 different options. You can go with Event Stream Custom Endpoint, consume the Kafka compatible endpoint from the Logic app or Azure function or anywhere you would like to, or you can go from the CalculL database to the Power Automate connector and schedule your query and alert on results and so on. But Activator capacity consumption breaks into 4 metered components per Activator usage docs. Rule uptime per hour, event ingestion, event computations, and storage. So for simple stateless alerts, the total cost is really small, often less than the engineering work that you need to wire up to your custom alerting. So I think you should also consider that. By the way, Activator supports custom actions, including Power Automate flows. We have just seen that. So you can use both, but then you have to pay Activator. Last question is the Activator, is the hub available in my region? So the hub itself works in every Fabric region. It's a tenant-wide surface. What does not work uniformly is the Azure Blob Storage Events connector. So the current exclusion lists, current by May of 2026, is Central US, Germany, West Central, South Central US, West US 2, West US 3, and West India. So you have to check whether the Azure Blob storage event is available in your region when you need that. We have some pro tips from the community. Endorse aggressively, so use the promote or certified badges to make clear it's a very cheap governance signal that you can use. Use derived streams to publish contracts. Don't grant the raw stream access to other teams. Publish a derived stream with the columns you commit to. Watch the metrics, what's coming in, what's coming out. 0 outgoing or 0 incoming can be an issue. Set an alert on that. So then you get an Activator alert when something is not cool. Well, that's from my side regarding the real-time hub. Thanks for joining me on this topic. When you want to get an alert when I release new videos, just hit subscribe on my YouTube channel, and see you next time.